Hey everyone, if you're a parent or caregiver, you know the deal, right? When your child gets a good night's sleep, well, so do you. But actually getting there can feel like a serious uphill battle. So today, we're going to dive into some of the most common sleep challenges and figure out how we can clear those hurdles together. First things first, if you're feeling totally exhausted, maybe a little overwhelmed by the bedtime battles, the sleepless nights, those mysterious middle-of-the-night wake-up calls, I just want you to know you are so not alone. This is honestly one of the toughest parts of parenting.
And I'm not just saying that. Look at this number. It turns out that about 1 out of every 3 children has some kind of sleep problem at some stage. So yeah, what you're going through, it's incredibly common.
And that's actually our jumping off point for this first section. Because, just understanding what's normal and what to expect on this whole sleep journey, that's the very first step to feeling like you've actually got a handle on things and to finding solutions that really work.
Okay, so take a look at this timeline. It's kind of wild how much their sleep changes, right? By 9 months, a lot of babies are sleeping through the night. But then fast forward to 18 months, and it is completely normal for about a third of toddlers to still wake up once a night. And by age 3, that daily nap might just be a distant memory. This really gives us a fantastic roadmap for our expectation.
All right, so with those milestones in mind, let's talk about the big one, winning that classic bedtime battle. More than 5% of toddlers and preschoolers really fight going to bed. But here's the good news. This is an absolutely solvable problem. It all comes down to creating a routine that works.
So here's the game plan, and it's all about 2 things: consistency and calm. First, give them a heads up that bedtime is coming. Then, follow the exact same sequence every single night. Undress, bath, PJs, story, you name it. Now, this next part is key. Tuck them in while they are still awake. This is how they learn to fall asleep on their own. Then you leave, but you promise to come back and check in. This process of calmly returning teaches them to self-soothe and trust that you're always nearby. And to really help that routine stick, here are some crucial tips. Now, when we say be firm, that doesn't mean being harsh. It just means being consistent. Try your best not to overreact to protests. And believe me, there will probably be protests. Instead, just focus on making their room feel super calm and secure. Think soft music, a nightlight, maybe some white noise. The goal is to lower the stimulation, not add to it. Okay, what about those really scary middle-of-the-night events? I mean, it is absolutely terrifying when your child wakes up screaming and you have no idea what's happening. So let's break down the 2 most common culprits: nightmares and night terrors.
This chart really makes the difference crystal clear. With a nightmare, your child wakes up completely. They remember the scary dream and they need you to comfort and reassure them. With a night terror, they aren't really awake, even though they might be thrashing and screaming. They seem panicked and you can't console them. But in the morning, they won't remember a single thing. So your job during a night terror is not to wake them up. It's just to make sure they're safe.
And here is probably the most reassuring thing you can hear, especially if you've ever witnessed a night terror. As truly alarming as they look to us, they usually stop on their own after a few months, and most importantly, they have no lasting negative effects on your child. All right, let's move on to another issue that can definitely cause a bit of late-night panic: sleepwalking. What in the world do you do when your kid starts wandering around in the middle of the night? So, sleepwalking is most common between the ages of 4 and 8. The number one thing to remember is your response. Don't try to wake them up. Your only job is to gently and quietly guide them back to their own bed. It's usually not serious, but if it's happening pretty often, it could be a sign of some kind of underlying emotional stress. And of course, safety is absolutely number 1. This checklist is your best friend. Keep the floors clear, put a gate at the top of the stairs, and make sure all the windows are secure. A regular sleep schedule also helps a ton. And hey, here's a pretty interesting strategy you can try. If you notice it's happening around the same time, try gently waking your child about 15 minutes before it usually starts. Do this for about a week, and it can sometimes break the cycle. Okay, so let's pull all of this together and talk about a consistent action plan. Because whether your child is just waking up and crying out, or they're physically coming into your room, your response is what's going to shape their future sleep habits.
Ah, yes, the classic scenario. It's so tempting to just let them crawl into bed with you, but all that really does is encourage them to keep doing it. The recommended approach is to be prompt and firm, but always loving, and return them to their own bed every single time, with just a quick, brief reassurance.
And this right here, this is totally non-negotiable for success. Both parents, or all the caregivers in the house, need to be on the exact same page.
You have to follow the same plan. You are a team, and sharing that workload, especially during those tough 2 a.m. moments, it makes all the difference.
And finally, please remember this. If you have tried these strategies consistently and the sleep problems are just not getting better, it is absolutely okay. In fact, it's a sign of great parenting to seek professional advice. You do not have to solve this all by yourself.
So as we finish up, I want to leave you with this thought. You don't have to fix everything all at once. That's just overwhelming. So looking at everything we've covered today, what's the one consistent step, big or small, that you feel ready to try tonight?